Hello! Perfidious Pete here, balanced on the blade of a knife and ready to brave the blighted barrows and bitter bogs of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. This is it. Now is the time. Moment has come. We're separating the men and women from the boys and the girls, the wheat from the chaff, the gold from the dross, the Spielbergs from the Ratners, if you will. It's Darkest Dungeon time. We're doing it. We're gonna go kill the shuffling horror. And under ordinary circumstances, you know, I'd spend the next 1 to 2 minutes gilding a lily, maybe dropping a couple pop culture references, trying to make it a little amusing intro into what I expect from the dungeon. But you know what, today? Nah, that's not what I'm gonna do. Today, no fancy words, nothing like that. It's murder time. We're gonna strap on our boot knife and go make this dungeon look like a set from Ichi the Killer. And that's what we're doing. Let's get to work. Dwayne Hicks, Henry Blake, Sophia Pelletier, Padme Amidala. This is our team of killers we're taking in to go fight the shuffling horror. I really would have preferred that we had gotten the opportunity to do this last time. Padme, I'm looking at you here, but you were too busy off in the hills of Naboo trying to woo your little chew toy Anakin there with some of the shittiest romantic dialogue that has ever been written. And instead of getting a decent trinket, what are we going to get this time? A Guardian Shield, which I think is objectively hot, flaming garbage. But it is what it is. We can't dilly-dally any longer. We're like 48 weeks into the dungeon, which I think is exactly half of our time limit. We really have to start ramping up our Darkest Dungeon assault. So let's get our trinkets on here and get down in. How are we going to do our trinkets? Well, I'm considering stacking for virtue, but I think instead what we're going to do is just, not this dungeon. We stack for virtue in a later dungeon. We go for the Holy Order here for the Crusader. Commander's Order's also pretty good, but it is position-based, and there is no guarantee that we are going to be in the first position that often, because the Shuffling Horror lives up to his name, shuffling. It's kind of what he does. The Ethereal Crucifix I like very much because almost every enemy we're going to fight in this dungeon is Eldritch. I don't think it's good for Dwayne Hicks, though, because it lowers his max HP, although he does have the most HP to kind of... You know what? Yeah, actually, he's got the most HP. He can suck up the loss. The 10% is the biggest amount to him, but he's got high protection. If anybody's going in with an HP penalty, I think he's the right man for the job. Grave Robber's Talisman, it's really good. Bonus crit, bonus trap, chance disarm, bonus speed, bonus scouting. We do eat twice as much food, but food isn't really going to be that much of a concern. I think we take this, and I think we couple it with the Lucky Talisman. That means we're going to hit... We don't have any bonus damage in this build, though. The 3% crit is very nice, plus crit is hard to come across. But I love the dodge, too. It makes us really defensive. We're fast, we're defensive. The trap, disarm, and the scouting, that's the thing, is those aren't really going to matter here in the Darkest Dungeon. Those don't really, we don't really have to worry about them. We could go with the Ethereal Crucifix for Sophia and give the Squidgy Tentacle to Wash, and then we would almost be able to just ignore his stress. He'd have a plus 40% chance for a Virtue. I don't hate that. Alternatively, I mean, we can't go with huge plus stress trinkets in the Darkest Dungeon. It's not going to work. In fact, the plus 10% is making me a little uncomfortable, but I think we're going to have to learn to make do. Minus 5% damage for plus 12 dodge is really good, and we're definitely going to go with our Cudgel Weight for our Houndmaster here. Is the Protective Collar what we want to roll with, or would we rather give us something that has bonus damage? Do we want to take an extra 10% stress for an extra 15% damage and a little bit of bonus speed? Which is better? Dodge? That would give us a 42 dodge for only 5%. You know, I think we go for the Protective Collar. We're going to go with maybe a little more defensive build than we ordinarily would. This gives us a bonus stress heal here. 33% bonus healing. The question now becomes... how do we want to handle our stress? Do we want to go for the huge heals, take the big stress penalty? Would we rather have slightly less heals? And I mean, I'm talking only very slightly. This is like a 5% difference. Would we rather have a plus 20 stress, or would we rather give up 4 hit points? I really think we'd rather give up 4 hit points and not take the additional stress. We're also giving up 5% aggregate healing, but that doesn't really feel like a world. I mean, we're talking basically, it's at maximum 1 point. That's what we're talking about. All right. It's the darkest dungeon. Not all heroes are guaranteed to survive. Yep, we know. If we come back, somebody has to die. We're still embarking. So, food, all of it. Shovels. I don't know if we need shovels or not. I don't think we do. Torches. 3 full stacks. More importantly, bandages. All that we can get. Anti-venom, all that we can get. Do we want to take a key? I mean, sure, we could take a key. Do we want to take medicinal herbs? You know what? Yes, actually. We're going to take 1 full stack of medicinal herbs. Why take a stack of medicinal herbs, Pete? Because we may have some debuffs that we want to cleanse, and assuming I can remember to cleanse them, I will. This is our team. Let's get to work.
Once again, the stars.
And just be forewarned, this dungeon is really long, so depending on how things go, I may split this one into 2 episodes. I may chop this one in half right in the middle. Just, you know, because I like to ramp up the tension and try and encourage you to watch more stuff.
Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm.
I gotta ask, Ancestor, shadows pulsing to the unrelenting rhythm and the darkness and the horrors and the squidgy tenebrious terrors. Why didn't you just stop digging at some point? I mean, you really had to come to the realization once you got down in here, you'd be like, you know what? What we're delving into here? This doesn't seem like a really very good idea. We should just fucking stop. Let's start getting some fill dirt and just fill this hole in. Do we really want to keep going like this, guys? Am I the only one having second thoughts here? Is this just me? How come that never crossed your mind? That's what I want to know. Alright, so we got a capture rapturous cultist here. You may notice we've got a little bit of different skills here. I changed up the paradigm a little bit. Zealous accusation could hold us in good stead, but I'm kind of going for a little bit more defense than I ordinarily would. I don't like that we don't have a reliable way to hit targets in the first position, but the shuffling horror, first position should not be a problem once we come up against the shuffling horror themselves. And go ahead and bite this guy. These guys will cross heal each other. Not a big enough bleed to get the kill. Flesh to flesh. Okay. You healed yourself, which is weird. You're gonna also flesh to flesh. It's fine. Patched himself up for 11. We're gonna take the big smite, 17 damage. Oh, this guy is not Eldritch. He's unholy. Well, I undid your heal. So that man is gonna die from bleed damage. I think we go ahead. See, this is what I don't like, is I got nothing that hits the front slot. But when we fight the shuffling horror, lunge is gonna be super important, and being able to cure blights and bleeds is likewise super important. So you know what? Let's just toxin trickery. And I think we'll go ahead and cry havoc just to try and get rid of our own stress. There we go. We want to keep stress to a minimum. You can guard that guy all day long and ain't gonna do a bit of good. You can't guard him from the blood that's already falling out of his veins. Thanks for wasting your turn. Alright. So far, so good. One and done. Yeah, well, Wayne June, don't give me an inflated ego here. You're kind of building me up here, Buttercup, just to let me down, mess me around. Don't give me that. Because worst of all, you know, you never call baby when you say you will. See, and once again, we're in a first position scenario where we got nothing to work with. Let's go ahead and take our bonus dodge then. Death Lash, okay. Stress attack coming at the 2 of us. It also has a debuff component which lowers our bleed resistance. Lowering our bleed resistance is actually quite bad because these guys have a monstrously huge bleed attack. Let's go ahead and get our mark off. We couldn't cudgel weight. Maybe we should switch these 2 for the opening, because then we could lunge. Maybe we'll reorder our party very slightly for this early bit. Because look, we've gotten, you know what? Yeah, move back. We've actually gotten nothing out of you 2 for the first 2 rounds now. These guys now also have the debuff for the bleed resist. Give me the stun. There we go. Alright, we're going to have no problem getting through the rest of this. You're going to be dead. Really would have liked an opportunity to get a heal off before we killed that guy. This is the party order I think we want going into the dungeon because it gives us... You can lunge from flashing daggers. You still have nothing that hits the front rank. Well, you can lunge if you're in the 3-hole. Okay, that'll do. Light level. Bump it up, Pete. So we got a little preview of what we're going to be up against. Now here's our first actual fight. This one, not that big a deal. Nice crit. Sophia with the good, solid initial shot. Good damage. All right. Ready for the new god. Didn't get a die. Okay. The bleeds. Yeah. See, 6 per is a big bleed. Nice dodge from Dwayne Hicks. I think we definitely got to go for some stun meta here. Let's whack this man with the cudgel weight, lock him down. I don't want to get hit by any more of those bleeds. They really do a number on you. Flesh to flesh. These guys we're going to, by and large, just try and ignore. That dodge did not help us out much. Okay, let's go for the Divine Comfort. If we get a second stack of this bleed on our Houndmaster, we will call it a day. There's a big hit. 23 damage. Nice work from Sophia. Yeah, you can guard the stun guy all you want. I don't really care. Rent for the new god. There's the dodges we've been looking for. If we get a second stack of that bleed, though, you know what? Go ahead and throw a directed heal at our Houndmaster. We will use a bandage. That's what we brought him for. If they want to try and double stack us, we're not going to let them double stack us. This is not a Wendy's. That's not how we work up in here. His stun wears off. Okay, he stepped in front of it. You can't pin that one on me. I was aiming at somebody else. That's not my fault. So, we need... How come I don't have Shadow Fade? That's fine. Toxic Trickery is good. We can have other people dash themselves back in front. Still got hit. Our dodge has got to be out of freaking control. We have plus 20. Our dodge is at 62% right now. Okay, give me another... And we can't stun here. Yeah, okay, so this synergy is not really working for me. We're gonna have to get a Shadow Fade in this. Toxin Trickery is nice, but we gotta get Shadow Fade in the mix because we can't... I mean, we can cure that Blight and Bleed, and this is why we have that ability slotted, is specifically to cure it. I was gonna say, we damn well better start dodging some of this shit. Maintain the offensive, maintain the offensive, blah, blah, blah. We gotta adjust Sophia's skills. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with this. Lunge, I want to keep. Thrown Dagger. Does bonus damage versus marked and weaken marks. We have marked synergies. Let's go Lunge, Shadow Fade, Thrown Dagger, Toxin Trickery. Shadow Fade is a stun, which moves us back 1. I like that swap. We're assuming Sophia's going to win a speed roll. I think she is. Let's test this paradigm out. I like this a little better. Pete, should you really be testing a build when you're in the darkest dungeon? Hasn't the time for testing already come and gone? You're not wrong. We probably should have tried this out a little bit beforehand, but I'm a fly by the seat of your pants kind of guy. This is most of the fun for me. So, what do we want to do? Do we want to throw a dagger or do we want to go for a stun? I think we go ahead and try and start putting up kills on the witches. 9 damage there from the start. I would have really liked to have seen more to go with from the beginning. We have dog biscuits too, right? Okay, we're definitely saving those biscuits for the shuffling horror. We could cry havoc and try and get a little stress relief, but I mean, we're going to take some stress in this fight. What I'd really rather do is just try and keep us from taking the stress to begin with. Fate's Reveal. Beautiful dodge from Sophia. Yeah, this bleed here is going to be a problem, and this is where most of our bandages are going to wind up. Another sweet dodge! Yeah, see, this is going to suck, though. We're bleeding 12 per round. That is a monstrously huge bleed, so we're going to go ahead and bandage that off. And then we need to kill one of these dudes pretty damn quickly. We got to get started here. Throw a directed heal at him. That undid the bleed damage and got us back a little bit of the direct damage that we took. Good shot, Sophia. Good shot. Okay. Fate's Pull. This doesn't matter. This party is built to be relatively shuffle-proof. So if we get moved around a little bit, we got nothing to worry about. Those dodges really, really helping us That dodge, the opposite of helpful, however. Okay, go ahead and give me the mark here. We're going to take some bonus damage versus this marked target with Sophia's thrown dagger. Dodge it! Okay, we resisted the bleed, which is nice. I think we got to go for the Divine Comfort here. That's 20 aggregate healing, which is more than we would get out of a single directed heal. Thrown dagger into the marked target's heart, and then we're going to bums rush him. There's my boy with the dog. Give me the bleed. Not quite fatal, but this guy has fatal damage, so this is his last shot. Of course, it was a critical. The worst part of that is the 22 stress. It really is. Another sweet-ass dodge from Sophia. Blake? Alright, I was hopeful maybe he could pull off a sweet dodge, too. He just straight up resisted the bleed, though, so all things considered, that worked out for us. I'm very tempted here to try... You know what? I'm beyond tempted. Let's go ahead and do a stress heal. We could pick up a little HP and let's get some of that stress back. This guy is already dead. Give me a directed heal at our Houndmaster as well. So far, so good. I feel like, you know, we're making some progress. Let's Shadow Fade and try and stun the toughest target. Resist. What's their stun resist like? It's actually not that good. Okay, so Henry Blake taking one. Resisting the bleed, though. Where's the dodges here, Blake? Yeah, 6 per for 5. That's a monster bleed. Let's undo some of that. And we're probably going to go ahead and use a bandage here, I think. You can stun one of these guys, though. Nice critical stun. Beautiful. Okay. No, let's get a little bit of heal and a stress womp here. Sophia? Go ahead and Shadow Fade. Let's keep these guys on lockdown as much as we can. And I think we try and power through the bleed. You can't Hound's Rush from the front rank. You can only continue to whack people with the cudgel, huh? Alright, we'll mark a target for us. We're going to get a wallop here on the marked target. Marked targets have reduced dodge, so we can get more mileage out of that. Padme's going to keep us healing through. Throw the dagger. There's what I'm looking for. Sophia with the big wallop. It's just, that was like the knife to the heart that Padme took when she found out that Anakin was murdering younglings. And you're getting another wallop to the brain with our cudgel. There's our stun. Puts you back on lockdown. Big pop from Dwayne Hicks. All right. Okay. Team, now we're gelling a little bit better here. The team is starting to fire on all cylinders a little bit better now. I'm liking this. There's the killing blow. Beautiful. Okay. Good. Let's go back to default party order, and then we're going to swap you two. I really wish you could set your default order in during a mission. That would be another thing that would be delightful. They gave you an opportunity to change your default order. I would appreciate it. So, Pete, what's the paradigm for getting through this dungeon? We're going to go simple. We're just going to go up and around, up and around. This dungeon is perfectly symmetrical, and you fight, regardless of how you go through it, pretty much exactly the same number of fights. The darkest dungeon does not change. The encounters are always fixed. You always have the same monsters in the same order. And a hunger prompt. Okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, I do want to save enough food that we can camp relatively simply. So we've gotten through here. We're going to have one more fight coming up in our next room. We should have a hallway fight and then I think a room battle. So let's go ahead and keep our torchlight cranked up. It is most important to keep the torchlight high in the darkest dungeon. And this is going to be a tough one right here. So first things first, let's go ahead and whip a knife at this guy. 17 damage, pretty solid start. Here comes the finger. We hate the finger, but the dodge is beautiful. Don't be fingering Padme. Anakin will not tolerate that shit. She resisted the bleed. Holy crap. Alright, well, our days of resisting bleeds just ended because we just got a massive bleed debuff. So, give me the wallop. These guys are very stun prone. I don't think cudgel weight, with the cudgel weight on, I don't think that stun can actually fail. A directed heal on our Houndmaster here. Okay. Start working this guy over. It would be nice if we were able to focus our damage maybe a little more effectively. Keep throwing knives at this guy in the back. These priests do have a heal. Give me the bleed. Give me the bleed. There it is. Fatal damage. Comes another death flash. All right, so more bleed debuff. These guys got like a minus 50. Oh, that only lasts for 1 round, huh? It's not as bad as I thought. I thought it lasted for 2, so that you could hit him and then whack him with the finger. 24 damage from Corporal Hicks. We could go for a stun, or we could go for a kill here. I'm actually going to go for the murder. The stun would be nice, but I would rather have these guys be dead than stunned. They're down to only having 1 dude, although Hicks is a little bunged up. Wouldn't mind getting a stun off on this guy just so we could buy ourselves a little time to heal. I don't know if you get the Dilly Dally penalty in the Darkest Dungeon. I don't know if that applies. Let's take a round to just pump up our overall health a little bit here. Give me the Shadow Fade. There we go. All right, we bought ourselves a turn. That's beautiful. Cry Havoc. Let's get a little bit of extra stress relief. And speaking of stress relief, just keep it working. Spread the love. Keep the stress low. That guy missed his turn. Padme is a little banged up thanks to that finger that she took. I think we'll go ahead and give her a little bit of extra damage and the bleed as well. I don't want to try a Shadow Fade here because I don't think we'll be able to get it. We're going to take a finger. Dodge it. Oh, all right. 11 damage. Did get hit with the bleed. That one's nasty. 6 per turn. I think this is a good cause for a bandage. We're a little bit beaten up. We should probably have lick wounds. We should probably maybe have lick wounds instead of target whistle. But we have such a good synergy with the target whistle. You know what? Murder. When in doubt, always murder. Praise the steadfast hound. Okay, so.
This expedition at least promises success.
Wayne June, I really, really wish you wouldn't say that, man. It's like you want to jinx me, Wayne. It's like you're begging for the jinx, brother. Do you gotta go that route on the Perfidious beat? Couldn't you cut me a little slack here, bro? Why you gotta do your worst to jinx me, bro? Okay, we picked up scouting, which, again, not overtly useful. I think we may move to this room, and once we get through, there should be a fight either along the way here. Fight is either along the way, or it's at the end of the hall. I may have just wasted a torch. I wasn't paying attention to my actual torchlight. Okay, so not a hallway fight. This is going to be... I think there's a room battle in here. We have no debuffs we want to get rid of. I don't know why Sophia has minus 20% stress until the end of the quest, but I'm grateful that she does. So what do we want to start with? We got a lot of stress units here, but we also have a lot of damage units. If we go with exclusively stuns, we're never going to get anybody dead. I think we got to start working on the kills, and we got... Oh, man, was that a good time to go for the murder. Padme taking a finger. Telling you, man, you're going to make Anakin furious with that shit. He'll be fingering his girl. Fates reveal. Okay. It's fine. 12 stress. We can take it. We are marked as well. Another Fates reveal. Okay, you guys are really piling the stress on poor Padme. She went from basically no stress to 50 stress in 1 turn. I'm not having any more of that. Let's take a kill here. Dodge it. That's my girl. I would love to get some stress relief here, but we also need to start working over some of these monsters. We have 2 guys here who have really big bleed attacks. This fight is surprisingly dangerous. I'm going to go for the damage and self-healing for Padme. I was hopeful we might get a critical there and maybe get a little bit of stress mitigation as well. Nothing doing. That's okay. We're working this guy in the back over. Here comes the death lash. All right. That's going to make this guy's bleed basically irresistible. Another Fates reveal. Man, Padme really getting worked over with the stress here. We can ill afford... Well, for one thing, we could ill afford to have that attack get dodged. That's straight up horse hockey. Right, for the new gods. Okay. The dodge from Corporal Hicks, though. Okay, we gotta do some healing here. We really could not afford to have... We're gonna take another Fates reveal now. You gotta kill that guy. All right, Sophia, nice work. That was clutch. Clutch murder. Here comes the finger. Okay, 7 damage. That bleed is gonna stick. Oh, we resisted. Okay, gimme... I really wish we could get a cudgel weight off here. I think maybe we're gonna go for the shadow fade with Sophia and try and buy ourselves a little time. Yeah, we're gonna need to do some healing and stress relief here. So we gotta go for the AoE heal. Hicks is real banged up. You know what, Dwayne? Get that in on yourself. We gotta get this guy stunned. Okay, Sophia, give me the shadow fade. He resisted, which is bad, but we can follow it up with the cudgel weight. There we go. Now, directed healing. Got to get a big one on Hicks. A critical there would have been real nice. Stun wears off. Okay, Hicks, you got to do some stress relief, bro. I know you're banged up, but we... Oh, that critical is huge! Taking back 14 stress. Stab this man in the neck. We got to go for the Havoc. Anything we can get here from a stress relief standpoint, it's never hitting Padme. Rent for the new gods. The dodge is as good as having gotten the stun. Let's give Corporal Hicks here another big heal. And you know what? More stress relief, actually. I know we probably could have netted ourselves a kill there. We're going to take a little bit of stress. That's fine. That tiny bit we relieved. We can afford that. Spread it out a little bit. There's the stun. We're working him over. Okay, let's do another Cry Havoc. There's what we like to see. 21 Togoro stress. The critical kill gets us the heal and some stress relief too. Yeah, an extra 7. All right, nicely done. Things are going well. And, you know, I hate to... Okay, we're going to do one more. We're going to do one more room. And then we're going to think about maybe camping and wrapping this up. The camp in this case is probably going to be more for buffs than for any stress relief, although our stress is getting a little bit high. We never want to be below 75 light. Not in this dungeon. We could use a little bit of food. We'll get some healing when we camp as well. Here comes our scout. Okay, we are going to have a room battle in this room. If I'm remembering correctly from our previous Darkest Dungeon encounter, there's either a hallway fight here or a room battle. Might be a hallway fight. Okay, hunger is bad. We still have enough for a feast, which is good. That's stress relief. In we go. Okay, we can do this. No hallway fight, huh? I thought for sure we had a battle there. Well, this is like the end, and then it's, I think, a fight, and the shuffling horde. There's definitely a hallway fight or a room battle here. I'm misremembering, I guess. Not a hallway fight. Okay, so this must be this is gonna be a room battle then. That's fine. Let's do this room battle. Man, Hicks, you know what? I don't wish you were a little pumped up. I'm actually gonna give you an extra 6 health here. And we will, in all likelihood, be camping at the end of this and going for the feast. So we got a malignant growth. All right, we want to get the stress unit first if we can. 15 damage. That's a pretty good start. We're almost halfway home. Here comes the flesh wall. That's just a guard. That's no big deal. Okay, here comes the death lash. This gives us a massive bleed reduction, but it does minimal damage, which is fine. Daze the bind is a stun. I think that also has a bleed component. We resisted the stun, though. Okay, give me a big heal here. Got Hicks propped back up with a little healing. And more fucking Fates reveal. Getting real sick of that stress attack, bro. Okay. Make with the murder. Give me the bleed. I don't remember what the malignant... The malignant grope only has Daze the Mind. Let's kill the malignant growth. Oh, we did a monster damage to it, too, because it's Eldritch. Okay, kill this bitch. No more fucking stress attacks. You take that shit and go out of here with it. Flesh to flesh is a heal. You can feel free to heal a unit that's not damaged. That's a positive use of your turn. Comes the Death Lash. Again, just giving us a bleed resist. Which we've been resisting the bleed debuff quite nicely. A little bit of biting here. Okay. Malignant growth taken care of by a monster Dwayne Hicks critical, who also got some stress relief for the team thanks to that critical. Let's buff Dwayne up. I like my Dwaynes, they're like the Rock Johnson, baby. I like them buff. What if we can stun this guy? Okay. No more guarding then, because the stun will take away the guard, and it puts us in a position where we can follow that up with a cudgel weight to the brain. Yeah, I'm liking that synergy. That's good. Skipping turns, that's what we like to see. Give me the AoE heal here. Let's just go ahead and pad everybody out. Hicks, 18 damage, solid work. We could hurl a knife. I think we go for the Shadow Fade stab, though. Flesh to flesh, gonna heal him up. That's fine, he's getting 9 back. This gives us bonus dodge, right? Yep. Plus 30 dodge on that shadow, on that lunge is also quite nice. I think we go for... There's my boy, Henry Blake, with the kill. All right, now what are we gonna do? Grind out some stress relief. We might not even need to camp. This is almost too good. I don't think you get the tarrying penalty for messing with these guys, so let's Shadow Fade. Just in case, though, we want to try and maximize all of our stress reduction capacity. So let's Cry Havoc. Little AoE Divine Comfort. Okay. I'm going to do this until I start taking penalties, actually. Dwayne Hicks is going to self... If we can get through this without camping, I'll wait and try and camp before the final fight. Probably should not have Shadow Faded there, because I did just take away my chance to get a Cry Havoc off. That's actually bad. We can just continually Divine Comfort to try and farm some AoE heals. You know what? Move back, actually. Hicks, how you doing, bro? Good, he's down to 20. Okay, Padme... Okay, we are taking the Terry penalty. With Cry Havoc, though, we can almost overcome the Terry penalty. So maybe it's worth it. Unless it gets progressively bigger. Flesh to flesh again. That's fine. Cry Havoc. Well, we didn't quite overcome the Terry penalty, but we did bring it down a little. Let's see if we take it again. Yeah, okay. Oh shit. We have overstayed our welcome. This is very bad. Okay, no more of that crap. That was definitely a mistake. Flesh Wall, he's just gonna throw a guard at that guy. That's fine. We don't really care. Alright, we did get some stress relief from that. Let's go ahead and kill this Flesh Wall. I really, really don't want him healing anybody. It doesn't matter who we bite here, and that's fatal damage, so here comes the finger. As long as it doesn't critical, I mean, it also has a stress component on the attack, which is unfortunate. But as long as it doesn't critical, I really don't mind that much. 6 stress we can handle. Why don't you go ahead and just fix yourself up there? Fix yourself up, doll. You know, heard Anakin talking. He was saying about how he wasn't really picking up what you're putting down there, saying you're letting your looks fade a little bit, Padme. He's not sure if he wants to be affiliated with the senator from Naboo no more. Take another Death Lash. 11 aggregate. A little bit of a bleed debuff. That guy died from a bleed, so these guys are going to get bumped forward. Another finger for Padme. That's what we really, really, really did not want. A critical finger is... It's terrible. Yeah, because now Padme's on death's door. There was no way for us to get around that other than having not tarried. We should have not fucked around. Okay. A little bit more. Okay, give me a stun here with the Shadow Fade. Alright, we bought some time with the stun. Bite him. Get a bleed working. I'm gonna go for the battle here. I can't battle heal Padme. Alright, well, I will Inspiring Cry her then. Padme is still bleeding, by the way. And she's bleeding like 6 per round for 4 rounds. We're getting rid of that. And I'm feeling like, even though I don't necessarily want to, we may need to camp after this. Give me the... Just kill him. I'm done messing around with these guys. Oh, pardon my reach. Yeah, this is... Okay, so we've got... This is, like, right before the final fight. Do we need to camp? -2 accuracy, -5% damage, -1 speed, extra stress. You know, I don't really think we're in that dire of a situation at the moment, but I am going to wrap up the episode here. This one's getting a little long, and we still got quite a bit of fight left in this dungeon. If you want to see the thrilling climactic conclusion of Padme gets fingered, you might consider... Well, that didn't come out the way... In my head, that was like a Freddy's Got Fingered joke with Tom Green, except with Padme, but having said it out loud, it didn't necessarily follow the way I expected it to. If you want to see more busted jokes, though, you might consider subscribing. Post new episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And if you like that busted joke, you might drop a like down in the comments section. Right now, though, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.